NIU, and Commissioner Julie Rowe-Lash from the Horizon League. At this time, we'll start with a statement from President Freeman.
Well, welcome, everybody. We're so delighted that you're here to join us today to celebrate NIU moving into the Horizon League. We are so happy to be homing so many of our sports in a league that shares our values, a league that understands that student athletes need to succeed not only in competition, but also in the classroom and the community, a league that's filled with higher education institutions who understand that education is a path to social and economic mobility for all of the students that we serve. And we really look forward to working with the other institutions in the Horizon League to build stronger connections to our communities, to our alumni base, and to look for ways that we can share innovative ideas and collaborate to promote leadership development across all of our institutions. We think the Horizon League has tremendous leadership, and we just could not be happier than to be here today.
Thank you, President Freeman. We'll let Sean Frazier state the message.
Thank you so much. Thank you, President Freeman. Well, we just got better again today. This is really a massive, massive deal for us. I'm so appreciative to President Freeman, Board of Trustees, our donors, our supporters, obviously the Horizon League. This is a tremendous, tremendous opportunity for us, and we're really excited about that. When we started this journey, we knew there was going to be some twists and turns, but to be perfectly honest with you, this has really exceeded a lot of our expectations relative to the fit that is going on. So I'm so excited about that. You know, we have really a lot of special moments, obviously followed with dealing with a movement or creating a movement. And as we climb the mountaintop, we're definitely going to embrace the horizon. And I'm really excited about our opportunities in our future, and I can't wait to get after it. Thank you for all being here.
Thank you, and thank you to President Freeman and Athletics Director Sean Fraser, the General Counsel Brian Perry. All three of you have been incredible partners, and your Board of Trustees for their vote of support. We don't take that for granted, and we appreciate it. I also want to thank the Husky staff. I know that this is a very busy season for all of us, and thank you for making today possible. And thanks to our Horizon League crew, we have our entire Horizon League staff here, minus one graduate assistant, who's busy preparing for track. But nonetheless, we just hosted our swim championships last weekend. We're excited about indoor track happening tomorrow. And the fact that we're able to all be here today to celebrate this moment is really indicative of just how important this is relative to the future of the Horizon League. So thanks to all of our staffs, the Huskies and the Horizon League team, for being here. You know, as Athletics Director Frazier and I started talking, and frankly, it became very clear to me that there was an alignment here, not just in terms of sports, but in terms of the value proposition. In the Horizon League, we talk about 4 key pillars that really shape who we are. The first is major cities. And with the addition of NIU to the Horizon League, we will have, across our 7-state footprint, we will be in 6 of the top 30 television markets, which is incredible exposure for our student athletes and for our institutions, but also, frankly, some fun cultural opportunities. One of the stories I like to tell is when a team travels within our major city footprint. We had an instance just last year where a team goes to a Bucks game when they're traveling to Milwaukee, and then when they went up to Green Bay, they were able to tour Lambeau Field. And those are student athletes going about our major city footprint. Another pillar we talk about are major experiences. I can't wait for our student athletes to come here to compete in this incredible facility and have a major experience right here in the NIU Convocation Center. Your basketball facility is fantastic. Your volleyball facility is wonderful. We are looking forward to being able to make all these facilities part of our Horizon League footprint, and we're excited about the major experiences that will bring. A third pillar we talk about is major impact. And to me, this one really strikes to the value proposition we talked about. We just celebrated a couple weeks ago in the Horizon League John McLendon Week. And for those of you that don't know, Coach McLendon was the first Black coach hired at a predominantly white institution, which was Cleveland State, one of the Horizon League members. We had a week-long celebration for the 5th year in a row, lifting up his legacy. To learn that NIU is the only 2-time winner of the MOAA DEI Award, to me, really struck a chord of that value alignment that we've continued to talk about. And then the fourth pillar is major move. We are right now experiencing a major move, and I think that speaks to the bold leadership of both of you and your institution. You found the right home, an incredible opportunity for your football program to be in 4 time zones, and now to recognize this major move of 14 sports coming to the Horizon League. We're excited about your bold and innovative leadership and what that's going to bring. So to the NIU student athletes, I said Horizon League, but not yet, not until 2026, but we're so excited for you to become part of the family of the Horizon League, and to the coaches for who you are and what you stand for. Welcome as we look towards 2026. And I think I'll just finish with, I'm going to see if I get this right. Go Huskies.
All right, all right, all right.
All right, we're gonna open it up to questions now from the media that's assembled. We do have a mic for the questions, so please raise your hand and we'll come to you with the mic.
Yeah, Eddie Curfio with the Daily Chronicle. This is, I guess, for Sean and Lisa. Just were there any other backups, any other alternate plans, any other conferences you guys were looking at other than the Horizon?
So this was a comprehensive process. There were many different conferences. But at the end of the day, it was really about that fit, both in the portfolio of sports that we've had, as well as what we're trying to achieve. And again, the president said it really well, the alignment, the mission, the academic, the athletic, not compromising standards, all of those pieces. But there were many that we went through this process and landed with the winner right here, the Horizon League.
Matt Brown from Extra Points. Why don't we start here with the question for Dr. Freeman? The geographic constituencies for both the MAC and the Horizon overlap in many ways, but I noticed in the release specifically highlighting now that Northern Illinois is in a league that will allow them to take multiple trips to Wisconsin. I'm wondering if you can elaborate a little bit as to whether that's an important place to be for recruiting students or for where you're trying to reach independent of athletics.
Well, I know our student athletes like cheese because I've traveled with the team many times. But we're very happy to have the Midwestern footprint. While it overlaps a lot with the MAC, you can remember that UMass and Buffalo were also added to the MAC. We feel that we're returning home to really good regional competition, and we're happy to bring Illinois and Chicagoland to the Horizon. And I know it will benefit our student athletes because fans will find it easier to travel to many of the away games. And that's really important because we want to cheer on our Huskies at home, but we also want to cheer them on when they're in competition on the road.
Hi, this question is for Sean. This is Colleen Kane from the Chicago Tribune. I was wondering, could you just take us through the timeline of how this all unfolded? When did you start having the conversations with the league, and how long did it take? When did you finally come to the decision that this was the right move for you?
I've talked about many times about the genesis of our model, right? The football and then our Olympic sports. Our relationship. In our history, this is almost a homecoming. This is a homecoming in another name
Right.
Of the institution. How it happened today, I think earlier this year, we had some conversations. We're taking a look at making sure to keep everybody in the same loop about what's important to us, and then getting down to the brass tacks of, process, procedure. But, early in 24, late in 25, going through the proper approval process, and then here we are. So, but the conversations have been lengthy. There's so many connections I could go into with you relative to why this is a good fit based on the personalities as well as the administrators involved. But as far as we got to brass tacks, 24, 25 is the time where it all came together.
I have another one here for Sean. I understand here that when you look at the totality of the moves involving the Mountain West and then coming in here, that there's going to likely to be some element of cost saving for the athletic department between travel and perhaps reassessing budgets for different sports. I'm curious if the department plans to make adjustments to how men's basketball is funded with this change? Or do you expect that amount of money to remain constant and then savings reallocated elsewhere in the department?
Yeah, it's a good question. You know, we're going to see savings operationally to the tune of $400,000 to $500,000 right off the bat, right? And I think that that's really important for us for the sustainability standpoint. Athletics, as you know, is very dynamic. The movement, the ability to make sure that we fund a competitive academic and athletic program. I think what we've done financially, if you look at our different reports from the NCAA to the Department of Education, you can see that we are pretty healthy as it relates to men's, women's basketball, as well as our other sports. We're fully funded. So I think that, yes, we're going to be very, very, we're going to use our due diligence to that process. We're not into the process of doing things that are going to hurt the competitiveness, as well as making sure that we are sustainable. So those savings are important at a time where higher education is going through a review, and being much more savvy and financially conscious is a real key component of this move. It's about sustainability. So I think that this move enhances that. That's the byproduct of this move, but also to making sure that we field competitive teams academically and athletically. That's the goal.
Skylar Casellas, Northern Star. This is going to be for Lisa and Sean. It's a bit of a two-part question. So during the board meeting, I know it was discussed that wrestling and gymnastics have applied to be affiliates in the MAC and are still awaiting that decision. The first part of this is, how do you feel about the chances of this application being accepted? And then later, Sean, I know you mentioned that's, I should just start with that one and we'll go from there. Sorry, I brain farted.
That's okay. That's all right.
You know, we've had a long-standing, strong relationship with the MAC. Our relationship with the MAC has remained cordial through the transitions. We're very comfortable with applying for affiliate membership, and the lack of action to this point has been much more about scheduling than anything else.
I'll have to echo that. We formally have applied. Obviously, we're proud members of both of those sports. We compete really well. If you look at the landscape and the need for certain numbers and other things for AQs and competition, it's a good fit. So it's more about a timing issue more so than anything else.
And then you said that if the MAC doesn't, come through, that there were options for wrestling and gymnastics. How plentiful are those options looking
Yeah,
like
we
now?
have. I think that's the good news. There are options, but our main option is to stay within the MAC for those two sports. But there's always options.
Just to follow up with what Skylar said, excuse me, what are some of those options?
As far as what the affiliate.
Other landing spots that the MAC doesn't want.
Yeah, so again, within the state of Illinois, there's conferences for gymnastics. I'll let you do the research. And then from a wrestling standpoint, there's leagues from the Big 12 to the Big 10 and everything else. So there's options out there. You have to go through a process, just like we've done with the Mountain West. It's just like we've done with the Horizon League.
This one is going to be for Commissioner Leish. So it's my understanding that the Horizon League is known for its basketball brand. What did you see from NIU's men's and women's teams as far as what they can bring to your conference?
Well, first of all, thanks for the question. I thought y'all were letting me off the hook easy. We are absolutely, and we take pride in the strong history of being a basketball league, as well as the recent trajectory of just the climb in our net conference rank, which is in the weeds a bit, but that's the national metric. I see Matt nodding because he's clued into that. But we've really prioritized competing nationally in men's women's basketball and experienced that, of course, last year with Oakland's incredible win over Kentucky in the first round of March Madness. When we started talking, it was very clear to me that Sean is also committed to basketball excellence, and we talked about what are the pieces of the puzzle that need to go in place to make that, to continue to invest, but not only, and make the move to get the basketball program where he and President Freeman want it. But it pulled through in my conversations with them and in their conversations with our ADs and presidents who care very much about basketball, that they are absolutely committed to excellence and our 5-pillar strategy, which I can talk offline about, but they're very well aware of what is our league striving towards from a basketball standpoint, and they've bought into that.
Julie, Andy Garcia. Is the 12 a good fit for the Horizon League? Are you looking to expand? It's always crazy out there.
Yeah, I would suggest when it comes to membership, there's no magic number. You know, when I joined the league 10 years ago, we were 9, and we had grown all the way to 12 at one point, and we've been really strong at 11 for the past year plus. And we've always talked about with our presidents and chancellors, this isn't a math equation. This is really and truly, sincerely about fit. And it is a very dynamic landscape, as you know. So we're constantly looking at who might be a strong potential candidate, should we want to expand, or if there's healthy attrition that happens. So with that in mind, when we started having conversations with NIU, it was very clear that we were going to be stronger with them as our 12th member than remaining as a strong 11-member league.
This one, I think I'd be interested in hearing a response from any of the three of you. This kind of decision about decoupling football from one league's membership and pursuing other sports somewhere else is the sort of thing that people like us propose all the time as like, oh, this would make sense in a spreadsheet, but I don't have to worry about dealing with the constituencies that all three of you do to defend that idea or to explain it. And I'm wondering if the three of you can maybe walk me through a little bit of what the process was like to get some of your constituencies on board with doing something that might seem a little bit different from what you've historically done before.
I love her. She's the best. My boss is the best. I'll put that on record. Here's the deal with that, and we've had lots of conversations. You know, I think that it's incumbent for us as leaders to be able to engage in a level of discourse that challenges the status quo. I think that's what leadership is about. I also think that in this dynamic state of college athletics and higher education, it's important for us to make sure we do the right things for our institution. And that's what happened here. This is not uncommon. I've said this once before, that there's lots of models like this, but I think your point is well stated. Not everyone is able to do that for whatever reason. I don't want to cast stones or dispersions on my colleagues, but I say that if this was an option for us, we needed to pursue it. And we did that. And we've had lots of different things to consider. This was not a process we did overnight. And we had to do a lot of things that were data-driven, as well as was the right fit at the right time for our institution. I talk a little bit about, you know, the House case and the requirements associated with that, the issues around the transfer portal, the issues around name, image, and likeness, and then the expansion of the college football playoff. And any one of those issues would be the cause for reason for some level of change. We saw all of that happen at one time, and we're still trying to get through it as an industry. So I think what we've been able to do, and I have to bless a lot of folks, because it's not just one person that was involved in this, but we have an opportunity, and we took that opportunity. And you know what? I really do believe it's a model that is very sustainable, as we've watched the service academies really prosper from this. I think it's the right fit for NIU in the right time, and we've been really, really fortunate to have great partners who've executed at a high level. So I don't know if I answered your question, my friend, but yeah.
I'll let Julie talk from the conference standpoint, but I'll say it was not a hard sell for me. As a 3-time graduate of Cornell University, where hockey and lacrosse play outside the Ivy League, I'd seen this model work, and I felt that it was a good time and a good model for NIU.
Just for a bit of context in the Horizon League, as you know, Matt, we already have 2 members that sponsor football and other sports, similar to the Cornell model, who are members, of course, affiliate of other conferences. So that happens, and we celebrate their football, in particular when they're able to excel at the national level at the FCS. What's different here, of course, is that NIU is competing in a really strong way at the FBS level. So as we talked about that within our league, for us it wasn't an either or, it was an and. They want to excel incredibly well in football, and they're going to do that in the Mountain West. And they want to take their Olympic sports and position them in a home like the Horizon League, where they can really excel as well and have that value alignment. So for us, it was about the and ensuring the value alignment, which we have.
That's a good question.
just following up on that a little bit, do you guys, and it's for any of the three of you, probably will be Sean, but do you feel like this is kind of a canary in the coal mine situation for a, a national model, or is this just something that's, fits your situation right now?
No, that's a fair question. I have to lean back into what we've been able to do, and fortunate to be in a situation to attract great partners. It's not for everyone because of the situational issues attached to it. I told you the 4 major points of why we investigated the model. I do think some institutions are going to be able to do something like this, but I also have a fundamental issue with the fact that having one sport dictate all of our our Olympic sports. So in other words, we see a lot of our larger institutions flying from coast to coast and so forth. I think for me, fundamentally, it's really making sure that we meet our students' academic and athletic interests without compromising standards that might have some effect on their academic progress. That's a big piece for me. It's all rooted in the academics. So I think that some schools are going to have this option and some are not. The fortunate part is that NIU is one of them.
So this one's going to be for Lisa and Sean. Obviously, with how much college athletics has changed in recent years, you move to the Mountain West for football, you make this move today. Is NIU at a point where it can kind of settle down a bit, or is there another piece of the puzzle you're trying to add some time in the near future?
From the standpoint of settling down, you're talking about the moves that we're celebrating here today from teams and conferences. But for me, the real movement and the real joy and dynamism comes from seeing our student athletes. It comes from seeing them arrive here, compete, develop as leaders, go on and prosper in their careers, us giving them the chance to pursue the majors they want. So, from that standpoint, I hope it never settles down, because I want to see Huskies succeeding here and beyond for as long as possible.
It's well said. It's no such thing as standing still. You're moving forward or you're moving back. I know people get tired of me saying that, but it's the truth. And I think it is about the student-athlete experience. It's about the staff experience. It's about our faculty. It's about our alumni. And when you throw all that into the blender, it's our great community here in DeKalb, it shouldn't stop. We're going to have the next issue, whatever that might be, good or bad, mostly good, I hope. That's part of the process. That's what we embrace.
I know you guys announced a while back, a few years ago, might even been before the pandemic, about trying to find naming rights for the convo and everything. Do these moves help accelerate that? Like, did that process just stall out because of the pandemic, and does this help jumpstart it again?
Yeah, I'll take a little bit of this. Yeah, it is what it is. We have great momentum. I opened up our talk this way. This is we've had some special moments. Obviously, that's created an outstanding movement for us, and then we have 2 great conferences, and the markets that we are involved in, institutions that we are now affiliated with. There's a lot of great opportunity there, and that really gives us a leg up, because we're going to be able to do some things and refresh some things that we have not been able to do because of the things you just mentioned. And I really, really feel that the future's bright. We've already seen some of those right away with some corporate partners and some other donors and other folks that have stepped up because they're really excited about our brand. So I think that this is going to be a great day. This is going to be something that really propels us to the next level, whatever that might be. But yeah, I feel really comfortable based on the current interactions, our student athletes, our staff, our administration. We've got something here, and it's exciting to kind of see where it goes from there.
This one's going to be for Sean and the commissioner. So with 2 Wisconsin schools that are going to be right nearby when you're in the Horizon League, is there going to be some type of formal travel partner that NIU is going to have in this conference?
Did he ask if there's a travel partner?
Travel partner. Yeah.
You want me to take that one?
Of course.
So how we have approached, and especially in basketball, when we've talked about the strategy and what matters, we've talked a lot with our coaches and athletics directors, and frankly, we've moved to what we call a hybrid approach. We used to be more traditional travel partners, so for those that might not live in the scheduling world, it just means when a team would travel to Milwaukee, a couple days later, they'd then play Green Bay. So it's essentially one trip to Wisconsin. What we've moved from is a more hybrid model to provide more rest in between games, so more of a Wednesday, Saturday model, flexing for our TV windows, and that might mean one home and one away, except for our outliers. So when Robert Morris goes to Wisconsin, they're gonna play twice, right, from Pittsburgh to the Milwaukee region. So I imagine this will be an up and back to Milwaukee for Northern Illinois. I don't wanna speak too far in front of Kelly Ford, who leads our basketball strategies, and then back to Green Bay, because that's a quick trip. I mean, we drove here in 3.5 hours, one break, so we can all do it, right? It'll be a good, I think, trip for the fan base, with cheese curd stop along the way. But nonetheless, I think the point is we recognize we have to be flexible, whether it's scheduling, whether it's how we think about our championship opportunities, what is this new world that is college sports, and how can we be dynamic about it, while recognizing sometimes the tradition of a travel partner approach might work, but it's definitely not something we're just gonna lay across all sports.
Whatever the commissioner says, I'm good.
I thought you wanted.
That reminds me, actually, because I'm sure by the time I get home, someone's going to DM me and yell at me for not asking this earlier. Is there an institutional plan at Northern Illinois to attempt to continue to schedule some of these historic MAC opponents out of conference in other games? Or is this, look, we'll play it by ear depending on how schedules go, sort of thing?
Well, I can start this. Yeah, my phone's been pretty, ringing pretty heavily about continuing our relationship in our other sports. We have, the president said this well. Our MAC brother and sister institutions have been great partners, and there's no need not to schedule and continue that conversation. It will be obviously in the non-con, but at the end of the day, we need to do that. We have certain rivalries in place. We have connectivity in place. We will do that when we can see fit. We've done that on several occasions too, but also to the state of Illinois. The state of Illinois is really important to us as far as the other institutions in the state for bragging rights, competition, and the like. So, yeah, we will continue to do that. Some will be more easily done than others, but yeah, we'll continue that process.
Any other questions?
Great. Here we go.
Do a little photo op here with the group, and we do have these individuals as well as several of our head coaches available for one-on-one interaction here following our photo session. So start with this, and then better you guys stand and
Oh, all right. Yes. Right.
Middle here and do that. Yeah. Oh, no,
or maybe we could do basketball.
Sure. Love basketball.
You-
The logo.
All right, you've got the
Okay,
jersey.
I got the jersey.
Nice. You got it? Totally. Check on it. All right, there we go.
That work?
Should we palm it, President Freeman?